What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today, on a new episode of Fresh Cuts, we are sitting down to talk about the Disney Plus film that just released, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
Hello. Chip 'n Dale. That's it. That's all I can do.
Damn.
You gotta sing it like Post Malone.
Oh God, it was so good. I actually liked it. I really liked the Post Malone version of the song. Spoiler.
I have mad props for Post. I have mad props for Post Toasty now. Post Malone, because he's an avid Magic the Gathering player.
Yes, he is.
And I enjoy playing that game as well.
Do you watch Hot Ones?
I have not seen his new one. I know he's on the new one.
He's on the he's done this is his second time, because he did one like 4 years ago. But
well,
yeah, he's back.
I don't know.
And it was good.
We watch.
He's a great. I would love to hang out with Post Malone.
I think he'd be a chill guy to hang out with.
Yeah.
I don't listen to his music. Don't give a shit about it. But he seems like a nice guy. We were on. We watched a lot of Command Zone, which is a Magic the Gathering show, and he's been on there several times. So
yeah, he talks about it a lot.
It's good stuff.
So
makes my pants tight. So.
Here on Fresh Cuts, you know what we do. We talk about what we thought about a movie, without spoilers in the beginning, and then once we run out of things to talk about non-spoilers, we jump into spoilers, meaning we will warn you before we get to the spoilers. So don't worry, we're not going to just spoil stuff. Other than the fact that Post Malone does sing the theme song to this at the end of the movie. Sorry for spoiling that.
Yeah,
but I hope when you watch these, you've already seen the movie, because I don't know how many reviews I watch where I don't already see the thing that I'm watching the review for. Unless it's a movie I'm just like, I don't really care to see it. I just want to see what these people thought of it. Then it's different. Fair. Let's go around the room, of course, and talk about what we thought about it. Non-spoilers. Let's start with Angela.
You're up.
Kick us off.
It was good. I'm not allowed to say it was cute because it was a kid's movie.
I can't stand it. Sorry. It fucking drives me nuts. Just say it's good.
Here's the thing. Can I just say this movie is not a kid's movie?
No
way.
Not.
There's a lot of references to things that aren't for kids.
Nor would kids would understand either.
Which I will. There's other things that we have watched when we were kids that had adult humor in it.
It's very true.
And then we watch it as an adults and we're like, oh.
Well, a movie that's very similar to this one in style.
I was talking about this with Seth earlier, my cousin. We were talking about that with my cousin earlier. I don't think this fits that category. Because he's like, oh, what's the humor like? I was like, well, it's kind of a little more mature. He's like, SpongeBob. I was like, no, it's not like SpongeBob, because this is not for kids. Kids have no, outside of what's on Disney Plus, these kids would have no exposure to Rescue Rangers at all.
No.
It's literally for people in our age demographic that grew up with it. There's stuff in this that I don't. This is literally a movie that people grew up with Rescue Rangers could watch with their kids, but it is not geared toward them whatsoever, outside of the fact that there's like no swearing in this movie. Pretty much PG. It's pretty much a PG movie with a lot of cameos and adult humor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cameos that they would know.
But I just this movie in no way, shape, or form feels like it's aimed at children at all, outside of like maybe a few cameos from the movies.
I do like the cameos.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
I recognize so many. Yeah, a lot of them. And then as the movie kept going, we're like, oh, we're just gonna put that in there and then put that in there. And it's like
that's random.
Yeah, just the random cameos, but it was nostalgia, so I liked it a lot.
I mean, that's the thing. This movie is just nostalgia. It's a nostalgia punch right in the gut.
Gummy bear reference. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
100%. It's just a nostalgia dump right on you. Just
that's all it is.
Big dump truck of nostalgia.
I mean,
and I'm all for it.
I could have cared less for the whole story part of it, but all the cameos I loved.
It felt like a movie that it really takes a lot of inspiration from, like the plot seems very similar. It's Roger Rabbit. I mean, it's just a modern take on Roger Rabbit, which is fine because Roger Rabbit is a fantastic movie. Sorry. And this is kind of doing the same thing, except for instead of like, Roger Rabbit had a lot of cameos in it, but this is like turned to 11. Just everything. Things you didn't even expect. You're like, why are you here? Like,
well, how much did the licensing cost for this fucking
Disney,
movie?
I mean, Disney can afford it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
that's a lot.
Yeah, and it really is.
It feels like there's some outside of Disney.
Oh yeah, there
a
are
lot. A lot. Well, Dan, what'd you think of the movie?
Okay. I already explained what this film is, and we already talked about it a little bit, like that it's I just think this is I think this movie is a much worse version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, damn, I can agree.
And I've not seen Roger Rabbit in a long time, but I remember enjoying the film when I was younger. Obviously the cameos weren't as ham-fisted as they are in this film. It's an okay movie. Like, honestly, I was not really all that invested in it. I watched Rescue Rangers growing up. Like, I remember the characters, some of the show. It wasn't a big thing for me. I feel the movie, literally, you're just watching for the cameos. For me, that's like, cameos. Like, I wasn't that invested in it. It's okay. It's an all right film. Like, it was a movie, but it's not. I'm not saying it's not a bad movie, and it may have just been me, but I just could not get behind it. Didn't really have much investment. I was like, okay, we're watching this for the show, and we're going to talk about it. Like, it's really, and I was like, oh, here's some cool cameos. Cool to hear the theme song. I didn't like some of the CG work they did when they used the 2D character models and rigged them on a 3D frame. Sometimes it looked really weird. It just did not look right. Not even just that, like, oh, it's because it's 2D. Like, no, just something about how they rendered it in some of the shots just looked
you're talking about, like, the way Chip looked?
Any of
the 2D. That classic animation. Well, not classic, but, like, animation from the 80s and 90s being turned into more of a 3D model. Yeah.
Yeah, because even when they have, the fucking evil Peter Pan there or whatever. Yeah, because he's in the trailer. It's not a spoiler.
I can't wait to talk about him.
But even there's sometimes they would like turn in a shot and it just looked really weird.
Yeah, it was kind of like off-putting, but I feel like maybe that was the point because of the way
it may have been
because of the way they're animated. Yeah,
it
was classic. But it was animation.
Okay. It was a very okay film for me.
This is a sequel to. Oh, sorry. Did you have more?
Oh no, no.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. This is a sequel to Roger Rabbit. Like, it's just, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like it's in the same exact universe. It's just from the perspective of two other cartoon characters from a famous show. Because if you remember, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is about, Roger Rabbit is part of the at one time he was a famous rabbit, part of a show, and then like he kind of falls on hard times, and then like there's a huge murder mystery thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same plot, but with two different characters. And Roger Rabbit makes an appearance in this, spoiler alert.
Yeah, it does.
It's only a blink and you miss it thing, but
there's quite a few of those.
Yeah. It just, that's what it felt like to me, and I'm okay with that. I had a blast. I did have to watch it twice because I fell asleep halfway through it. And not because I didn't like the movie, because I was very tired. But I did watch the whole movie. I did go back. It's not like when we were doing Firestarter and I fell asleep for 10 minutes, I said, fuck, I'm not watching the rest of this 10 minutes. I don't care. I thought it was really good. I like John Mulaney. I don't like, all I can hear is Spider Pig from fucking Into the Spider-Verse, because he does the voice of Spider Pig.
Yeah.
Or is it Spider Pig? Is that what his name is?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Because it's Peter Porker.
Oh, Peter Porker, yeah.
Well, that's his non-Spider Pig.
And I like Andy Samberg, and I mean, I'll take Andy Samberg in anything. I think he's hilarious. The cameos, of course, that is what you watch this movie for. It's legit the cameos. You could give two shits about the story of this movie or the plot. It's all about the cameos. You're just like, oh my god, and you're like laughing at like the situations characters are in that you're like, I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined this character doing this thing. And what they did to like huge, like popular characters in Disney, like we're talking about, like, listen, in the cameos in this movie aren't just limited to Disney. There are cameos from characters throughout just all studios. It's wild.
Yeah. Yep.
But what they did to a famous Disney character in this movie is hilarious, and I loved it. And I love the person that they picked for his voice, because he's always a great voice for these type of when they put a character in this type of direction. We'll get to that when we get to the spoilers. But before we get to the spoilers, let's go over some of the trivia, as I say. This was directed by Akiva Schaffer, who is one of the members of Lonely Island, which is the band that Andy Samberg is a part of. Yeah. I think most of the stuff that he's directed, he did direct Hot Rod back in 2007, which also had Andy Samberg in it. But he directed a lot of the music videos for Lonely Island. He actually wrote he co-wrote Everything Is Awesome from the Lego Movie.
Awesome.
Yeah. And he co-directed a movie with Judd Apatow back in 2016 called Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping, which is also with Andy Samberg. So
why not?
Yeah. Of course, this was based on the Rescue Rangers TV show from back in the 80s. It was like 80s into 90s, right? It was like late 80s into 90s. And the voice cast is ridiculous in this movie. You have John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as Chip and Dale. You have Will Arnett, which we'll talk about him later. Eric Bana, or Bana, however you want to say it. Keegan-Michael Key. Trying to figure out who he voiced because I could not pinpoint it. And I love him. And his voice is so, like, I feel like anytime I hear his voice, I know it's him, but I could not figure it out. Seth Rogen, hilarious. The character they put him in.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons, I can't believe they got him to play the role he played in this. And Kiki Lane, who is one of the actual human characters of this movie. She plays the police officer who helps Chip and Dale throughout this movie, which is cool. It was budgeted at roughly $70 million. And because it's on Disney Plus, you're not going to get any numbers of box office because it's not in theaters. Yep. But it did premiere in Orlando 4 days before the actual premiere. Which
okay, that's cool.
Sometimes they do that with Disney movies. Hey, we're gonna do a thing at like Disney World, and then everybody else can have it. All right, that is it. I don't know what else we could talk about on non-spoiler wise. So if you haven't seen Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, make sure to go. If you have Disney Plus, go watch on Disney Plus. Then come back and watch, listen, or watch the rest of our review.
Yes.
Go now. All right. Spoilers. All right. Ready, set. Let's talk about this with spoilers. Goddamn. Let's start it off. Dan, start off our spoiler-filled thoughts here.
What am I won't talk about. Are you talking about Keegan's characters?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't talk about those. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, okay, let's do something a little bit different. All right, let's talk about like what were the things you liked about this movie?
I didn't care for the ugly Sonic thing.
Well, I have a great week.
I figured ugly Sonic is in this movie because they paid a lot for the rigging. They're like, we need to do something with this. Let's have it be like
funny.
One of the most used cameo outside of the main cast.
It's so fucking funny.
It's
so fun. It's just the fact is like, normal Sonic goes fast. Ugly Sonic goes slow.
I don't know, man.
And you're just constantly staring at the human teeth.
Yeah. Yes. Because they mentioned his human teeth. It's like,
God. Dennis, I didn't know his name, but Dennis Haysbert doing Zipper, the dude that sells this auto insurance. What insurance company is that?
Allstate.
Yeah, I don't know if that's any nod to why Dale.
It's hilarious.
Or was it? Yeah, is it Dale? Right? Is selling insurance? Yeah, Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is that like a nod to this character? I'm like, dude, that's fantastic. And then again, some references to what's his name? Seth Rogen had his character Bob from Monsters vs.
It had
Aliens.
all of his characters. It had Pumbaa, it had Bob, and it had the Mantis from Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, And I just love that they made reference to the lifeless eyes from Polar Express. Like the different.
They just don't give a shit in this movie, man. They are attacking everybody, and I fucking love it. Okay, before you continue, I just want to mention the fact that they literally fucking Randy Marsh from South Park is in a sauna in one of the scenes. I'm like, what?
I think what
kid is gonna know that?
I looked over at my wife and I was like, how the fuck did they get all these rights for these characters?
That's what
that has to be the budget. Like most of the budget is getting like, we want your character to appear for like 2 seconds in a movie. Like, okay.
That's so funny.
And again, Jim Cummings. Spoiler, Darkwing Duck at the end. I'm very excited about that. I love Jim Cummings. Oh, Ash from Pokemon's in one of the backgrounds randomly.
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck is he there?
Was it like a guy just dressed up as Ash? Like he had the hat on backwards?
It was Ash.
If you, in the insurance office, right, the very beginning where he's selling insurance to the sheep, right when you see Dale for the first time, right, it cuts to a shot behind him and there's just like an animated like Ash in the background sitting like, it vaguely, but you could tell like that's who it's supposed to be. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's random as shit.
Okay, so Keegan-Michael Key does Bjornson the cheesemonger.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was him, the cheese guy.
Oh, my God. I couldn't even tell. I was trying to figure it out, too. Like, I was like, who could that be?
I love it.
And I see Keegan-Michael Key's name, and I'm
cops.
like, who?
You guys are definitely cops. Go on, do that.
And I love that they got Gadget's
voice
original voice actor.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I thought that was awesome. I was like, I know that voice.
That sounds exactly the same as what she was in the show, which is great.
And Akiva Schaffer plays so many things. I said that.
Yeah.
I said there was a sock puppet, and Dan's like, what?
Okay. One part I did actually really enjoy. I thought I got a pretty good laugh out of was the Batman versus E.T. I was like, what in the fuck? Seriously.
It shows E.T. I don't remember what E.T. said, but it's just the glowing eyes of Batman just staring at him. What the hell is that? Peter Pan, fucking Sweet Pea, or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
God, the fact that you literally see him transform from the Peter Pan from the movie that you watch as a kid to this fat slob of a dude who's voiced by Will Arnett, which is just perfect. Perfect. It's like Batman, everybody.
Yeah.
But I love when he runs into the freaking Lost Boy. He's like, "Oh my God, Peter, you look different." He's like, "Yeah, we all die someday." Oh my God.
Just doesn't even care.
It's so good.
I love it.
This movie was fun. I don't know. It just is so much fun.
Oh, Lumiere.
Oh yeah. What was the tiger woman? The one who like
Tigra?
I think it's
she He-Man or something like that, or something.
I thought it was an Avengers reference because she was
really?
one of the
Where is it? Right there.
Right there. Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing.
Here, I'll look it up. You guys keep being beautiful.
I love the whole plot line that Ellie, the cop there, played by Kiki Lane, that she gets in trouble for acting on a bad tip and raiding the Nickelodeon Junior Studios.
Yes.
All in fucking Paw Patrol and shit.
Yeah, Paw Patrol. Oh my God.
She's like, talks about when Peppa Pig went missing, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And J.K. Simmons playing the captain. Yeah, Captain Putty's literally like a piece of Play-Doh.
It's Gumby.
It's a Gumby reference.
It's a hard Gumby reference. Don't they like say that to him? Isn't that like one of the insults somebody throws at him or something like that?
Yeah.
It's no, she does. She says it to him. It's like Ellie, you're like just a knockoff Gumby or something like that.
Yeah, it is. It is Tigra or Tigra, wherever her name is, from the Avengers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
or Marvel. It's a Marvel property. So.
Gotcha.
Or maybe it's Tigra. I don't know.
It don't matter.
I just love when Captain Putty gets the fingerprint, and he like carves a piece of his hand off.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the random, was it Beavis? Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah,
was running as a senator or some shit like that. Or like, I was like, what? What's going on? What universe is this?
Dude,
I just feel sorry for Flounder.
Oh man, that is like, to be honest, if you're a kid, that's one of those things where it's like, this isn't a kid's movie. Like, imagine being a kid and loving The Little Mermaid and you love Flounder because Flounder's adorable. And then you see Flounder literally just get turned into like this hideous looking fish for a knockoff movie. And you're like, oh my God. I love
the knockoff movies.
Though. Oh, so good.
They were great.
The fact that the whole plot of this movie is that Peter Pan grows up and literally opens a studio to make bootleg movies. Like, okay. Okay, dude.
They're great.
It's funny because actually, I don't know if that was the point, but that seems like kind of an analogy for like some child actors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're like cast when they're young, and then when they get too old for the role, like nobody wants them anymore.
Well,
just like,
do you want to know a really sad story about Peter Pan? About the original voice actor of Peter Pan?
I've vaguely heard about this, but go ahead.
So Peter Pan is old. Like Peter Pan. So the Disney movie came out in, I think, the 50s. Maybe even earlier than that. I think like early 50s. I think it was right after Cinderella, which came out in 51. The voice actor, let me pull up his name.
53.
Okay, so yeah, right after Cinderella. Peter Pan.
Bobby Driscoll?
Yeah.
So, he's one of them old Driscoll boys.
So he had a rough life afterwards, and he became an alcoholic and all that, and ended up just dying like at a very young age. Let's see, he was young. Yeah, he was born in 37, died in 68, so he was 31 years old, and he got thrown into like a mass grave in New York City. So he kind of just disappeared.
Wow.
Like he just so you can't even, like, there's nowhere to visit him. It's like it was a mass grave where it was one of those things where they found him dead. They didn't know who he was, so that's where you would put those bodies. Like, well, no one's gonna know. It's just a really sad story.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I figured since we were talking about Peter Pan, and it's that Peter Pan in this movie, grown up, because he wasn't getting cast and it's just a weird story. But I figured I'd tell that really depressing story about.
I heard that back in the day when they used to do those like animations and stuff, they vaguely modeled the character models after the actors.
He looked like, if you click on a picture of Bobby Driscoll, he looks like Peter Pan.
See, I had heard that.
Creepy, to be honest.
It's like there's a couple of movies like that. What was it? The one with Will Smith?
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Fishtail or something like that, or Shark Tale.
Like a lot of those characters were modeled after their voice actor.
Yeah, I know, but you don't see that as much nowadays, especially in animated properties. It's usually like there's a character. But yeah, that doesn't all that happen all that. But apparently that used to be like a common thing back then. I don't know. So I've heard. I'm not an expert on animation of that time period.
I think the girl that played Wendy looked a lot like hers too. I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
To get back to lighter things.
Yeah, right. The superior Peter Pan movie is Hook. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I enjoyed Dale's ear.
Oh, the goofy ear.
Got a Snoopy ear, or whatever he calls it.
Snoopy ear, yeah, Snoopy.
I was like, how it's just a thing that's like there.
The whole Uncanny Valley part, like, where people are like, it's like glitches. It's like dudes just walking into a garbage can, and like, of course, Seth Rogen's character is like, is he talking to us? Like, he's not even looking. He's like, yeah, of course I'm talking to you, as he's like staring straight forward.
Oh God, dude.
It's great. It's
I do like
so great.
The joke, like the stabs at like inside, like more like references to deeper parts of Hollywood, like the animation styles and stuff like that, and like that. Not everybody may know, but.
Yeah, because this is because that's when they first mentioned about the Polar Express.
Yeah.
I love the Coca-Cola bear.
Oh, he runs by Baloo.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big fan.
God. Can I touch your face?
Yeah.
Paul Rudd's in here for random reasons.
Oh my God, Aunt Man.
Aunt Man. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Come on, man.
I was excited
to see. Got so much money for that 3-minute cameo. Not even 3 minutes, like 20 seconds.
Disney's like, dude, listen, you're in our Marvel movies. We fucking own you. Get in this movie.
Oh man,
I like the Skeletor He-Man cameo,
voiced by the same guy. Never knew that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Alan Oppenheimer is the voice of He-Man and Skeletor, and the original He-Man and Skeletor. Mark Hamill actually does the voice of Skeletor now. At least in the Netflix show.
I've not heard Hamill do it. I love Hamill, but it just doesn't have that. I don't know if he calls everybody a boob either. Like, stop it, you boob! Speech man.
I think there's something under the table. Well, maybe if you wore pants. You're gonna feel every breeze down there.
It's Scrooge McDuck. It's a cool cameo.
Yeah, well, he's diving into the coins. That was when they were going through the pipe, and that's when you see Randy Marsh from South Park and stuff like that. That was, I mean, literally that moment. Just seeing, I mean, he was in it for like 2 seconds. They literally run by, and you're like, oh, that's Randy Marsh from South. Why is he in this? Like, well, no one's getting that. Like, a kid isn't getting that. I mean, we're gonna get that, but.
Oh, of course. And there's a scene when they're in there. We were going through cameos on here. I knew what show he was from, but I don't know the character because I don't watch it. But they had a cameo of a character from Big Mouth, and that is very much not a kid show for kids. Kid show. No. Yeah, but he's apparently one of the detective. I don't know. Again, for adults.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Scruff McGruff?
Where? Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Somewhere in the background.
What? I'll have to go rewatch it. I love Scruff McGruff.
That's why I can remember the Chicago zip code.
Yeah, 60652.
Help to come out of crime. Launchpad.
That's the thing, is the best. I mean, you want to watch a movie that is going to really just brighten you up, especially, bring you back to those days of watching all these classic cartoons and stuff like that. This is a great movie to do that with. I love the fact that Chip and Dale talk normal, but in the show they have the squeaky voices, but they can turn them on and off. Or if they get really excited or mad at each other, those squeaky voices come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They banter.
That's and then like the one scene where Peter, I'm just gonna call him Peter. I think was his name Sweet Pete or something like that.
Sweet Pete.
He's like, I was always a Alvin and the Chipmunk guy myself. He's like, you monster.
Yeah. It is cool that they reference all those and they try to make this big world with it. And that's what I said. Like, this movie's fine for me. It has some funny points, but I mean the cameos are like, because there's so much shit we probably missed in the background.
I mean, I did see Scruff McGruff.
I didn't see Scruff. I didn't see Launchpad either.
No.
This needs to happen. I want a fucking Dark movies.
I like that Dale gets the CG surgery, so he's now a 3D character. It's listen, this isn't a movie you watch and you're like, man, that was some fine storytelling, some fine filmmaking. No, this is a fun movie. I mean, it's kind of the same way as it's just the what they were able to do in this movie visually is fucking amazing. Like, dude, all the different animation styles in one movie. Yeah. It's insane. I mean, it's not as impressive as Roger Rabbit because of the time. I mean, Roger Rabbit was late 80s where that was like, holy shit, did they really just have a human and a cartoon interacting with each other? And then they tried to do it again with Space Jam and it wasn't as good. I mean, it was still an entertaining movie, but
they also did that with Cool
Space Jam is nowhere near Roger Rabbit. When it comes to humans and cartoons interacting with each other,
it's not, dude. Sorry.
It's Roger Rabbit.
So Space Jam is more.
He hated
Space Jam is a little more closer to like Rockadoodle.
Roger Rabbit is perfection. All right, and Bob Hoskins, who is in the superior Peter Pan movie Hook. And he's Mario, unfortunately.
Don't try and make up for it. No, don't try and make up for it. No.
Listen, go watch Space Jam, but not Space Jam: New Legacy. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Ooh, yeah, don't. Don't go there. Don't go that far.
That was another movie where they're like, well, let's put in 7 million cameos, and they look nothing like the fucking characters they're supposed to be portraying. Oh, hey, is that Jack Nicholson's Joker that looks nothing like Jack Nicholson? That's not cool, dude. Don't do that. Thank you, Space Jam: A New Legacy. You boring ass movie. We'll talk about that movie at some point. Yeah. I mean, there's really not a lot to talk about with this movie other than the fact that it's a very nostalgic movie. To be honest, I feel it's aimed more for adults, but it is good for children. I think kids will watch this and have a good time because they're not going to pick up on every single thing like we do. But for me, I had a blast watching it. I'll probably watch it again at some point because it's one of those movies where now I just want to go back and see if I can find other people. It's not even the fact of paying attention to the movie. It's just like, oh shit, you look in that corner and there's Spider-Man or something hanging upside. Like, I don't know. Like, there's got to be those cameos, right? Like,
where's Waldo?
It's like, where's Waldo?
Where's the Star Wars characters? Was there Star Wars characters in this movie?
I looked it up, but
I'd actually be really surprised by that if there wasn't.
But this article says everyone, and that was not.
It's not everyone. They're full of shit.
Yeah,
there's so many references in that. There's who told me there was supposed to be like 300 cameos? Was that you?
Yeah, that's what I saw a video. I said, you want to see all 300 plus cameos? I'm like, no, I don't have that time. I'll just watch the movie again. Hope I can find him.
That works.
Do you like the snake that wanted Chip to rap or Dale to rap?
No, because I have Dale's sentiment. Like, why do you make these characters?
What's his name?
I mean, the fact that Chip literally is like, why do they always make the cute cartoon characters rap? It's just annoying.
It's Dr. Herzog and Lorak.
Yeah.
Something like that. DJ Herzog.
Yeah, played by Flula Borg, who is a hilarious German comedian.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But to end it, Ugly Sonic, fucking so happy he was in this movie. I love that they made fun of the fact that it's so funny. Like, everything that came out of his mouth, he's just such a cocky dude, but he's also like, he's such a piece of shit. I love at the end when he's up in the helicopter, like, he's got the FBI connections, and he's talking, and then he's like, oh man, God, I'm so sick of these human teeth. I just bit the inside of my mouth. Or no, I bit my tongue. Yeah. I bit my tongue. And I just love it. They keep staring at the human teeth. Oh God, it's just great. Love that they make fun of that shit. It makes me smile that they just took that and ran with it. Disney was like, listen, Paramount, can we make fun of fucking that terrible Sonic design?
I know, like, just sell it to us. You ain't gonna do nothing with it anyway.
No.
Just let us use it.
What?
Victor pointed that one out.
What?
Doc McStuffins.
Oh, I saw Doc McStuffins because you used to watch that.
I missed that.
Well, dude,
we could literally talk about every single cameo in this movie, but overall, I like the movie. And yeah, that's about it. I don't want to go too far into this. There's really not too much to like dig into. If you want to see every single cameo, there's videos all over YouTube that'll show you every single cameo in this movie, or just watch the movie because it's entertaining. I'm not saying it's great. Yeah, it's only an hour and a half. It's animated, so it's usually how it goes.
Mostly.
Yeah. But if you want to see a superior movie in the same style, go watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which you can also watch on Disney Plus, or pick up the brand new 4K Blu-ray, which I guess is a very good 4K transfer. So I got to pick that up at some point. But before I go on too long, do you guys have anything else to add before we end this?
Before you watch this movie, just make sure you practice your Where's Waldo. If you don't look at videos, so you can spot stuff in the background.
Yes.
And then go watch Jurassic Park 3.
There we go. That's how
I try to think of something at the end of these, and I'm like, and you put me on the spot. I'm like, fuck.
Right.
You need to think of it before.
I don't.
Make sure to tune in on Friday as we will be releasing our episode 56 covering Shin Godzilla. And then, and then we'll announce stuff there. So
yeah.
But our next fresh cuts, actually, before we go, our next fresh cuts, Top Gun Maverick. So stay tuned for that. All right. Until then, I am your host, Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. We are Dissect That Film, and this has been Dissect That Film's Fresh Cuts. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.